I'm about to go live right now.
All right, cool, cool, cool.
What's good, everybody? We are live. I'll give it another 3 more minutes until we get started. So, if you know somebody that needs to be on this call, go ahead and let them know that we are live and well. Definitely will be sending out reminders inside the chat. So make sure you guys are letting people tune in for tonight's session. All right, it is everything crypto for tonight. You guys more of a walkthrough on basically everything that's going on and just things that we haven't really covered for a while. So make sure you guys are staying tuned and take some notes. Oh, there you go. I think I am muted. I got muted for a second. But I think I was ramming up for a while. So thank you for letting me know, Fernando. But yeah, I guess start from scratch. So this is really where during the metaverse, if you guys have been part of on the platform or part of the community, this is kind of really think of it as the movie Ready Player One. Inside the chats, how many people has heard about the movie Ready Player One? So if you guys are brand new, this is the metaverse. The metaverse is kind of same thing as the movie Ready Player One. And when it comes to digital real estates, right? This is something that is a brand new concept, brand new concept. These plots of land. Missed the whole call. Yeah, definitely let me know. Was I talking for a good while? Or like which parts or was I muted the entire time? Because I could have sworn I was unmuted. Oh man. Bro, I was just rambling for a good while. Whole time? I'm dead. Okay, cool. Where can we scratch from? Okay. Damn, I mean, I actually was going in for a good while on like on these different topics. A lot of very key information for you guys to even like know about. But yeah, shoot. I mean, be good, Tony. But for most parts, I was kind of going over that the news as far as the 24/7 trading for futures. That's going to bring a lot of liquidity into the markets. Another thing I was looking at was let's see here about the regulations that the White House meeting brings together. The crypto groups, bank reps to resume talks on stablecoins. So that is really what's been seeing a lot of my timeline on X, and really what that is. If you guys are brand new, is stablecoins is basically it's a coin, a cryptocurrency that's pegged to the dollar, which is 101. So it's always going to remain a dollar in the market. So let's say, it is very, very convenient for you to move your capital into stable coins because it doesn't fluctuate with the rest of the market. Rather, some people will convert it into like another crypto that's moving or not moving, or is it going in a decline. So stable coin is kind of like your safe zone for you to not really lose any more capital. That's something that is very, very, highly suggested for you guys who are looking to do a lot more swappings on decentralized platforms. So that is very, very key. And since banks are just wanting more clarification on how to use it, how to take advantage of it, and how to implement it, how to implement stable coins into the everyday lives and like the banking, the finance industry. So a lot of things are still developing on the back end for that. So think that's pretty much it on what I covered. I know it's kind of going through each of these uh, a lot, so yeah, I don't mind going back and reiterate some of the topics. But next thing, I know I did go over Sandbox quite a bit, so I do have a land somewhere in here. I think that the pieces of land are pretty cheap for the most parts. Let me see on OpenSea. So as we start seeing like last cycle there was a lot of scams out there when it comes to uh cryptocurrencies, NFTs, a lot of wallets being drained. You're gonna see a lot of that pop up in the future. And if for something that's been part of the community, I've definitely had mentioned this before, but it's been a while since we've seen activity inside the NFT space. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at Sandbox, get out the way. So it has been a while since there's been any kind of activity like that would jeopardize your portfolios, your assets. So it's always good to don't click on any random links sent to your iMessage, your regular message, your email. and etc. So take it out the way. 10 box land. I think is this one. Yes. So I haven't really looked at like the raw NFT space for this. Low price. I want to look that screen that's listed. So there's only 670 items listed, and the current floor price at the moment for a plot of land is $64, which is not a lot actually compared to where it was a long time ago. So price high, most rare, it's listed, highest last sale. I'm curious. I'm curious how long ago was this? Last sale premium, that's a plot of land right there. Let me see what's premium. You know, there you go. That's currently in top offers. Buy for recurring right now. And then trades, make offer. Last sell was at 0.16 of an ETH. See here, land type, premium. Usually, it's always good to kind of find plots of land that are individual plots. Usually, there's some that are out there that are, within a plot. Like for example, this. And that wouldn't be recommended when it comes to like buying one, something like this. It wouldn't be recommended. Something like this, which is a individual plot, yes. So inside lasso, inside lasso. I'm gonna go back to the charts. Last 7 days, last year, the depth, the floor. Let me get the last 30 days. There's been a lot of sales going on, to be honest. It's been like the basically like the minimum has been around here. Interesting. Cool. On to the next topic, but hopefully this kind of makes more of a better understanding for some of you guys that are brand new into the whole metaverse, digital real estate. So this is something that's worth keeping your eyes on for sure. But yeah, all you really need is a decentralized wallet, whether it's MetaMask, and I think you can buy it using Ethereum or Polygon. It just depends on the payment method and how they're accepting purchases. So next thing I want to look at BTC. So with BTC, we've been creating a lot of liquidity as of now. I know from like past calls. I think on Tuesday, we were talking about like the liquidity. Currently looking for some kind of Wyckoff schematic to print out. And since there is news tension um, floating around, that could be the motive for it to just tank in price. So as of now, it's just been uh, creating more liquidity as the day goes by. I know there's been like a couple selling opportunities, but it's just been bouncing in these areas for quite some time. Yeah, I took in some sales, but it didn't really quite hold, so I kind of already took profits on the way down. So any opportunity that you guys can find, I would recommend taking them. Like I would just be cautious because there's not really anything in here that can trigger it for it to tank or drop even lower. And since we're heading out to the weekend, Friday, I just don't like trading on the weekends just because it just creates more liquidity um for people to kind of get taken out. So a lot of spikes in the weekends. So I'm kind of just avoiding the weekends as of now, depending on the setup. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. If it's like 12 p.m. Central, like literally like midday, then if I don't see a setup, then I'm not gonna look at the charts until maybe even Sunday afternoon, whenever there is the new daily and the weekly candle opens. Right, because you guys are gonna see some kind of volatility coming into the new daily weekly candle, and really gonna show the overall attention of the market, the overall direction of where BTC wants to go to, because it tends to distribute liquidity on Sundays, maybe Sunday nights, Monday morning. And from there, you definitely will see some plays pop up. So that's kind of like the prime time to even be looking at plays for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. Those are like kind of the current most volatile pairs at the moment. So with you guys are trading leverage on Jupiter perpetuals or CFDs, just always use risk management and don't really over leverage during this kind of structure here. It is very easy to get taken out break even multiple times, right? So just always take profit and have a clear set of rules when it comes to it, because every time we make a new low, it bounces right back up. So definitely don't be greedy. Take your profits, especially whatever it gives you, whether it's that's a 1600 pip move down to the downside. Which one was this one? You actually be getting some pretty good moves, to be honest. Over 1,000 pip moves. Let me see here. Yeah. Yeah, all these have been like over 1,000 pips. So those are good. So as far as like catching like the one where we actually sweep these lows, easy over 3,000 pips. So always make sure you guys are using risk management. And as of now, I'm still on the sidelines and trying to find some good opportunities for BTC to take. I know Ethereum wants to just drop already. It definitely wants to drop already. So I've been looking at the charts uh consistently, like literally like before we hop on the live, trying to even catch a setup, just catching the overall continuation to the downside and catch that move down. Let's see here, 1 hour has setups in here, has setups in here, 3 hours. Yeah, I had a setup here, like a small risk reward setup. Or I want to show you what happens on the next 45-minute time frame. Whether we decide to just go ahead and drop and it come back and retrace into this zone here. That's something I'll be eyeing at the current moment for any kind of continuations. I'm gonna look at total one real quick and see what's happening there. We still have some liquidity here. And then all this, basically all this here. Let's see, brush, all this right there, all this right here, liquidity. So now, I rather want to see more sells than anything. But we'll see what happens with tomorrow's New York session. Yeah, I personally still want to see sells since we're like at very, very crucial levels and price is bunching up. Yeah, it's giving me more sells than anything. Kind of reminds you where right here. Same kind of structure. You guys kind of see it how it's somewhat similar. The first drop down, retracement, market just playing inside of here. Let me see if there's any other examples. No, there's no other examples I can see. But yeah, that's something that I'm kind of eyeing at the moment with cryptos. Some see what's happening in Solana, and I'll definitely we'll briefly look at other alts and see where they at, and I'll pass it over to the next speaker. 45 for 1 hour. So as of now, I'm kind of working my way up and seeing what I missed. 2 hour, 4 hour. So the only thing I really see as of now is this. That's the only thing that I see. I know we have like areas in here, this candle in here. I'm just being careful with Solana because I know it tends to push a lot more aggressively with the rise and fall of BTC movement. So um hopefully it doesn't, of course, I mean it might even trigger tonight. I don't know. Probably some more moves happen, tonight before we go to sleep. After we go to sleep. So uh I'll see what happens tomorrow morning. I'd rather be awake and attentive on the charts than just having a limit order active and you know for me I wanted to manage my trade but not manage my trade I don't want to manage my trade while I'm asleep. You know that would be the right smart thing to do. So one, tool two, Solana. We got tool three. We got the daily. Same thing here. Still want to look for some sells. See, okay. If we can continue pushing higher, wait, where's this? No, that's okay, cool. If we can continue pushing higher, then we'll definitely see some sells. If the dominance for BTC rises, pushing these highs, clears liquidity, we'll definitely will see another drop. With Ethereum, if we see even lower, then there's a chance we probably even see dominance for ETH drop as well. XP, Chainlink, probably see another swoop lower. What's happening with XRP? So kind of like really just everything just kind of looks like it wants to do another sweep lower. Yeah, still waiting on these opportunities. But as far as NFTs, let's see here. I haven't really been looking at VVs, not so much. I've been kind of looking at what's happening um with other charts. I haven't seen any exciting developments. I know Magic. Nothing before hopping to the next speaker. Oops. Are you guys able to see my screen? There you go. It kind of cut out. There we go. So on this next airdrop, right? So there's an airdrop with Jupiter that's happening. That's live. So I know I told you guys, there was a last airdrop for Jupiter. So this one actually is very, very, very important. So this actually is very, very important because when it comes to the raw airdrops and this particular voting thing proposal is meant for either to stop airdrops, stop funding the team, and also another one is to continue the airdrop, the next one in May or something like that. So I can for show you guys what I'm talking about. Stake Drew, I think it was Stake and Vote. So this is kind of like one of those important ones where the timing is just impeccable with where the market is at right now. The proposal. So option one, continue with Jupiterary, which it kind of the name they kind of messed up because the airdrop was actually supposed to be in January, but so that's kind of been a controversial thing online. So option one is to proceed with planned airdrop scheduled. The tracker will be launched 1 week after the votes, followed by the initial 200 million Jupiter distribution, with the remaining bonus pool and Jupiter incentives rolling out as designed. Team vesting and mercurial vesting continue as scheduled. And option two, zero net emissions, postpone Jupiter, return the 700 million tokens to the community code multi-sig, preserving the initial airdrop snapshots, pause team token emissions indefinitely, with any liquidity needs absorbed directly by Jupiter balance sheets. So basically, this kind of like just offset any selling pressure by purchasing an equivalent amount of Jupiter. So it's kind of like just lets you to um, remove the overall like selling pressure that Jupiter's been having, because with all the after the airdrops, price has just been going lower and lower. So that's kind of really what it's been more inclining that towards. This is kind of more like, all right, cool, I want my airdrop. That's kind of really what this is all about. If you can read it more in detail, but you do need to be staking Jupiter to be able to participate. There's no right or wrong answer inside of this. But it is up to you guys what you guys plan on doing. But this definitely is the overall future projection of this project with this particular voting proposal here. To it ends on the 22nd of February. So here's the dates. You have time to vote. You have 2 days left to vote. Um, you can see how there is a lot of votes. The minimum threshold for these votes, so it's actually far past the threshold. So we'll see what's happening then. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this platform here. Let me see here. Go back. I think that's it. Basically, it on my end. I'll just will pass it over to the next educator, Fernando, and I'll let him take it away. I'll let you share your screen. I'm stop sharing. I'll let you be co-host. There you go.
Yo, yo, yo,
And
what's up,
you're muted.
guys? Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, perfect. What's up, guys? Hope everyone's
You
having
are
a
still muted.
muted? You sure? It's showing that I'm not muted. I'm good.
You're still muted. I can't hear you.
I'm muted?
Let me see. Are you guys able to hear him inside the chat, guys? Let us know.
it shows that I'm good on my end.
Let me see here. Mute. Actually, mute. Hold up. There we go.
You. Okay.
Huh.
One more time.
For some reason,
I can hear
you hear
you.
him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't hear me?
Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. All
Okay.
right, what's up, guys? Hope everyone's having an amazing day. Shout out to Tony. I'm glad he brought up the airdrop because that's something that, honestly, I've been sleeping on the ones he's been talking about, but that one I'm gonna get into that one for sure. I need to stake some of my some Jupiter. I believe you can stake some. Does it have to be Jupiter? Or it has to be Solana for to get into that specific airdrop?
Jupiter.
Jupiter. Got it. I'll probably do that right after. But with that being said, for sure, make sure y'all take advantage of that. Like that one's gonna be a pretty decent airdrop if y'all been in the last ones, which I heard. But yeah, getting straight into it, guys. Coming over here, Point Gecko. As you guys see, some of the top coins, have been slightly green, nothing too crazy. But for the most part, markets haven't really done much. Even just like how Tony was talking about a little bit about Ethereum and how he wants it to tank a little bit. And which is good because we, obviously want to be able to cash it at a better price. And it's funny because I was gonna bring up this article that I did find. Um, so I found this article a little bit earlier, and it was just funny that Tony had brought up the Ethereum, right? So basically, if you kind of sum it up, to really smaller percentage. What is basically saying right here is that there's been a lot of more people buying. Well, there's a lot more active addresses on the Ethereum network, right? But what I like is that we have something called DeFi Llama that I always use because I always think that especially now. Right now is a really big time where you need to be paying attention not only to news, whether it's real, whether it's fake, but also another thing that Tony mentioned is scams. Like this is the time where like they're really like the quote unquote good scammers are like in now, and like some of the bad scammers. Well, not good and bad, but like some more advanced scammers are later on. But right now, is you should be really paying attention to this. But for news perspective, if you see like an article like this and you want to like test it, you want to see if this is true, right? So basically it's saying that there's been more active addresses, right? And so we can come on here, we can go to Ethereum, and it literally has an option for you to find active addresses. So not only are you able to see these articles, but you're able to see if it actually makes sense, right? So if you see, technically, yes, there has been a slight push in active wallets. You can say the highest will say February 7th, right? But um, just because there's been more active addresses doesn't mean that there's money, because you gotta think about it. How many people are actually in crypto right now, and how many people are brand new that are just getting a little bit of money in, compared to like big institutions, big hedge funds, banks, that now want to come in with a lot of money, right? Think about it. If there's like 1,000 wallets of people only putting $100, and there's one big hedge fund with a few million, which one's going to move the market more? The one that has a more volume, right? So you keep this in perspective, right? You see an article like this, which is basically this is kind of suggesting that maybe Ethereum wants to buy up, right? We can come back on here on DeFi Llama. Let's take that one away. I only take it away because it blurs things. But if you look on the volume side of things on the A, so the A, I think it was the A. Seventh, eighth, like I said. So seven had the biggest volume spike, but nothing crazy, right? This is not a big volume spike. Um, Based on this article, basically saying that now, um, it could be something like it could like start the run for Ethereum, which I haven't seen volume for it to back that up. So this is why it's important to not only just look at the articles that are coming out, but also figure out if what it's saying, not if it's just true, but is it important? Because yes, it is true what they said, but is it important on what and how it can affect Ethereum where it is now and where it's going, right? So this is important. This is really, really important that I feel like a lot of people can overlook. So right now, just looking at the volume doesn't show me that anything confident of it going up. And it matches with I think Tony wanted to see it drop to a specific level. I can't remember what. But so keep this in mind. There's so many articles out there. Not a just because they're right and they're true doesn't mean that they're important. So it is something that is like it's like news that's put out there for people that don't really know what to look at and what to believe. So just make sure you pay attention to this. Another thing, so I saw this article, right? And what I liked about it was, I mean, from what I see on this specific article, is that Robinhood is starting their own chain, right? But what I like is that they're starting a new test net, right? So from your experience in the crypto space, every time a specific project has a test net, from what I've seen, is basically what a test net is where they need to test their excuse me, they need to test and see that their project works. Like it flows when you deposit money, when you withdraw, everything works, right? So what they do is they let you test it, and depending on however you test it, whether you deposit money or you withdraw, whatever you do, they it leads to a what is it called, a airdrop. For the most part, it leads to an airdrop. um I haven't looked into it yet, but I did see this and I was like, cool, this is something that I can kind of bring up and then see if somebody wants to go look into it. But normally when there's a test net, um, it's interesting because they can easily have a airdrop with, I mean, Robinhood is it's a big company. You know, personally I don't use Robinhood, but if they have a test net and they're probably gonna give you some free crypto, I mean, why not? Why not dabble into it if you can? So if anybody wants to look into that, I just noticed that I didn't even know they already had something like this up and running. So this was like something I'm like, oh, like yeah, things happen very fast. I can just say that they happen very, very fast. I was gonna talk honestly, like since our last call, um, since our last call, and Tony talked about a little bit about Caspa. Like, I've been doing my best not to talk about it on these calls because I know I go really deep into Caspa. But now it kind of they wanted me to talk a little bit more about it because now people questioning if I still like it. I'm like, man, I've just been trying not to talk about it. But yeah, so getting into a little bit about Caspa. Um, I guess let me look over. Let me just talk about it. So if you guys know, Casplex is a layer two that is on the Caspa ecosystem, right? Actually, the first one you can say it even stays right here on there, the thing, the little bio. But Casplex has been, you know, really a big movement. They've been having a big movement in the Casper ecosystem. And one thing that has recently happened, where's it at? Where's it at? I had it loaded, but it refreshed. Yes, I saw this. I saw this and I like, bro. So, you know how I really like Casper, right? And I really like DeFi Llama because it's able to kind of show you an idea of volume and all those things that I personally like. So I was like, whoa. So now Casplex is now available to be viewed on DeFi Llama. And I saw that, like, cool, let's go check it out. So they actually do have it now. So now on DeFi Llama, you can view Casplex. Um, so keep in mind this is a layer two, and this is something that is pretty new to this. So it doesn't have much I guess, information now. But it is something that will be growing in the future, which is going to be dope to be able to now have this on DeFi Llama. It's, it's really game changer because now, once it grows a little bit more, you can see more of this, volume and stuff like that. I think it's gonna make more sense, long term. Like right now, you kind of see like you don't really see anything, because it's brand new. Also keep in mind it is a layer two, but either way, like Casplex is their main hitter, you can say, when it comes to that. They're making all the moves. They're making all the moves. Like they also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they came up with this bridge. So let's see, take this off. So now they have a Casper bridge. So now you can bridge it between whatever network you want to. Obviously, it's still very limited. This is still something pretty new, but it is good to see that is something that's getting worked on. So like, let's just say you wanted to bridge some Ethereum. They have 5 roots. So this is basically 5 different tokens, you can say. And let's say you want to do it into I don't know. They have different. They have too many options. They have too many options. But like you can change these tokens and you can pick which ones you want. So I like that because it opens up doors for like cheaper fees because if you guys know anything about like gas fees, a lot of places charge a lot of fees when whether you're trying to move crypto to crypto, whether you're trying to do some trying to fee, you're trying to withdraw, whatever it may be. Sometimes when you have to move from crypto to crypto, network to network, I think the network to network one is the most crucial, I believe. But when you're trying to do things like that, they have very expensive gas fees. But the good thing is that it's now available on the Caspa network, which if you've ever traded on Caspa, if you ever purchased Caspa, if you ever did anything on the Caspa network, you know how one, fast they are, and you know two, how cheap they are. Like very cheap and very fast. So it's like boom, like game changer, being able to see like once this thing like takes off, it's gonna be pretty dope. Like they have a lot of options now that you can have. Different tokens, some for my opinion, they don't have like all the major ones yet, but keep in mind this is still new. But having this option on Caspa, which is pretty dope, from my opinion. But we'll see how it grows from where it is now, from where it's going. Um, but yeah, Caspa still. I wanted to show you guys. Where's it at? Where's it at? Here it goes. So there was something else I was gonna show y'all on the Caspa. Okay, so here are the top wallets for Caspa currently. Yes. So these are the top wallets for Caspa. This is very important because if you guys see here, it has wallet one, the wallet, and the person that owns it, right? Uh, if you look, all of these are exchanges, right? This is the percentage that they own, which is good. They own the highest one is less than 5% of overall. That's good. That's something you want to make sure you keep in mind. Like you don't want to get into a project that somebody owns like 20, 30, 40, 50%. Or, same thing as shares. You can say So it is something you want to make sure you keep in mind. But if you look, there's this bottom wallet that doesn't have an owner, like it doesn't have a specific person, right? It's not an exchange. So we don't know who this is. So Walleton owns a good amount of Caspa, we don't know who it is. And if you look, changed and 1 day ago, changed 7 days ago, changed 30 days ago, and changed 90 days ago. They haven't moved any of their Caspa. They haven't moved any of their Caspa in a while. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know who it is, but whoever oops. I don't know who it is, but what I like is like also looking at these numbers, everybody for the most part is buying. Everybody's buying. Buy, buy, buy. They're buying a good amount of cash, but even compared to the sales, they're buying more than they're actually selling, right? So this is really, really good to see that these big people that are holding Caspa are buying, and people that are still unknown that are holding Caspa are still not doing anything. They're not making any changes. And this I like this because there's how do I say this? There's still a lot of exchanges out there that have yet to join, have yet to add Caspa. That I briefly talked about last time. So honestly, I feel like this could be one of the wallets. I don't know. It could be. This one could possibly be one of the wallets. It's really hard to really know, but like for a wallet not to make any changes and times like now, it's kind of like, like they didn't even buy anymore. Like they didn't buy, they didn't sell. So it's kind of interesting where they're at and what's going on. So for me, like I said last time, for Caspa to be added on these big exchanges, it has to get some momentum. It has to like um there's no way it's gonna be in any of these exchanges without any type of momentum. Any type. And look, it's still I still wanted to drop a little bit more. Still wanted to drop a little bit more. I wanted to hit this. If we can get it right here under 0.028. That's like the area that I'm looking to look at to buy. Um, I'm not gonna like rush into buy. I'll be a little bit patient, just an area that I want to look into buys. Like I said before, like I really want to catch the leverage buys on Caspa. Although I still want to stack up long term for um for um for my wallet. But I do want to catch these leverage buys. And like just like I said before, if you look, you literally look at this, and we'll do it on daily. Not do it on 4 hours, so it's better. We look at this from the 4 hours, and go over here, go to Bitcoin, very, very similar chart. Very, very similar chart. So this is good. This is good. It's looking very, very good. Password is doing what it's supposed to do. It's looking like how it's supposed to be looking. We just need the right people in the right places. I believe there's also I had this article pulled up in an air race. There I forgot which one it was called. I think I have it on my phone. There is The Clarity Act. Yes. For some reason, it kept the Leno from my computer, but it was a Clarity Act. So this is basically a crypto I don't know how to explain it. Basically, they're passing this crypto law in government right now, and they are looking to get it passed. They're hoping by the end of the month. So by the end of the month, depending on what happens, it could be a good or bad, good or bad. We kind of have to see. But it is something that I personally I like to look at news like that and see what is going on because where's it at? Where's it at? So when news like that is kind of scheduled, I always like to come here. Where's it at? Bitcoin. I always like to come here. I like to go here, erase this, boom, zoom in, and we look at volume. So if you guys see here on the 7th, we had some decent volume on it. Wasn't too bad, but we did have some decent volume. But yeah, um, decent volume, nothing too crazy. If you guys can tell, we had more volume over here. But I want to see, depending, maybe like next week, maybe next week, kind of look at this again, see what's happening, and hopefully, this could be some good news that we've been waiting for, and the bull run starts. Right now, we're just on a ticking bomb. We really don't know when this is gonna start, but all you can do is just be educated on where to look. DeFi Llama, DeFi Llama. Trust me, guys. Like I really push it because I really like it. It helps a lot. Like so many times where I question myself because I was like, DeFi Llama says I should buy, but nobody's looking at buy. And I didn't buy. And then I was like, choom, that thing spiked up. I was like, okay. So right now, obviously on Ethereum, on Bitcoin, even on Solana too, I believe I looked at it. Didn't really see any volume pushes. Like this one was massive, but this was some time ago. But we don't see any spikes up yet, anything. So we don't see anything pushing up. So kind of just sitting back, kind of waiting, not rushing anything. For me, I want to catch leverage. Like I really like growing my wallet, and I still push that you should. But I kind of experienced like I've been in the space for a minute now. I'm like, man, those leverage, being able to catch the right token at the right time, you can outgrow your wallet very quickly with the right leverage and the right timing and the right wallet. So just keep that in mind. Don't overlook that. If you're able to catch some some tokens at a cheap price, get them. But if you're able to catch it, leverage buy and that token, go for it. Perpetuals. I personally recommend perpetuals, whether it's GMX, Jupiter, and all these other ones that I seen out there. Just make sure you do your research on them. But for sure, those two I can recommend them, and Radium too. But with that being said, guys, I'll go ahead and end my part right there. I'm not sure if you have something you want to talk about, Tony, just to end it off.
No. I mean, you basically covered quite a bit of everything, on tonight's session. But yeah, I mean, like, hope you guys learned something new. If you have any questions, you guys wanted to go over, definitely let us know inside the chats. But other than that, appreciate you guys for hopping on tonight's call, and I'll see you guys next time on these crypto calls. But yeah, definitely hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful night.